afternoon, or good evening, or good night, whatever it is for you. Welcome to the Woodfield podcast. My name is Sammy. I am the voice actor of Harrison, as well as a writer for a good amount of the episodes. I'm here joined by my good friend Carson.
I am the creator, the writer, the whatever, the animator, the stuff. I do stuff on Woodfield, you know, the usual.
He's like a side character. He's not really that involved.
Sure.
And we are joined by two other great friends from across the table. Why don't you two introduce yourself and please stop staring at me?
I'm Alejandro.
Good guys.
I do Johnny's voice, and I'm a writing consultant for the show.
Yeah. There's another one. Look at him.
I'm Daniel, and I voice Kenny Bennings on the show.
Good job.
There you go. Well, I hope everyone is doing excellent today. Today we are going to be continuing our podcast series from where we left off last. Last episode we covered the season 2 opener, the baseball episode, because I'm not going to say the mouthful of the title that it had. And we also covered Jack Gets Fired. Today we are going to be continuing talking about episodes 13 and 14, otherwise known as Colder Than Antarctica and Cell No. And these two episodes I've been specifically excited for because now we are officially out of I guess the bad era of Woodfield, or the classic era as I like to call it. So episodes start to become more watchable now.
If you guys hear
Arguably.
clicking in the background,
Yeah.
little bugs over there are throwing things like animals.
We'll talk a little more about what we think critically of the episodes.
Oh yeah, like I'll get more into it later. In the grand scheme of things, these episodes aren't that great, but in comparison from the first 12 episodes, they're definitely a step up. But nonetheless, I'll save my comments for them later on. But starting out with the first half of the podcast, we'll be talking about episode 13, Colder Than Antarctica. So I guess we'll just start off now. General thoughts on the episode.
Well, before we do general thoughts, I think we can do a quick overview of what the episode is. What happens. For all the viewers that are scrolling TikTok while listening to this.
All right, so the episode starts out with Harrison talking to our good pal Jack, and Harrison's discussing being cryogenically frozen, I think the word is. And so, of course, Jack getting the brilliant idea from Harrison, he goes and does that. And the rest of the episode is spent with Harrison and William trying to get him out of said ice cube. And at the end of the episode, it turns out that Jack was never in the ice cube. It was a dummy that Jack put in there for whatever reason, and then because he was bored. I don't know. That's his explanation.
For recreational purposes.
Starting with the critical analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Yeah, they get him out the ice cube. Jack wasn't in the ice cube.
And then second.
Insightful. Huh?
Yeah.
And then the episode following.
No, we'll save that for the second half.
Okay, you want to get
Exactly.
into Okay,
Yeah.
sure. All right.
Stay tuned for that later.
So yeah, we got the episode synopsis out there. So I guess we can go from here and talk about general thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is difficult to discuss episodes like this because they're not like Shakespeare where it's like a million different layers. But I will say they're fun. I just think the general gist of, I guess, making something that you want to make, Woodfield animating, I really respect it, and seeing it in these episodes, even if we think, oh, they're crappy because this is early Woodfield, I think it's really nice just to see this animation. As for the episode itself, it is entertaining. For me personally, sometimes it's a little confusing. Why are you guys messing with the mic over there?
Go on.
Daniel's got a
Sorry, yes.
brain.
I like the retro, like starting off point. Like it's like the birth of,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
that point where it's kind of shitty, but it's starting off.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
this
like
is like
that.
the split between like doo-doo and not doo-doo.
It's origins. There you go. Right?
It is, yeah. It's the line, the one. But as for the episode itself, like I was saying, it is sometimes confusing to follow just because of how the dialogue is delivered and also
A little choppy.
cut. A bit choppy, but it gets the point across. And yeah, I gotta say, speaking of what happened in the episode, the whole ice block thing, would you guys freeze yourselves in ice to keep yourselves alive for longer? Like if you could wake up in 3042, would you?
So
do
we're
it?
talking about immortality.
We are, yeah, because that's kind of the point of this episode. I think it's a character study in immortality. It's very deep.
I don't think I would freeze. I don't know. Do you really think everything's gonna be better in the next century?
Man, imagine you freeze yourself for like 10 years and wake up, the entire world's gone just been.
Well, it's also like all your
flattened.
family and friends are dead, right? So it's like there's not a lot of stake you have in this next.
I'm not making a statement on the action. I'm just saying.
You know it as a human from the past. though.
Then the answer is no.
Okay.
Based on that reasoning.
Yeah, based on that reasoning.
Oh, cute.
Horrible.
What about
Well, yeah. I mean, I find it fun.
What's it called? Cryogenics?
Cryogenics.
Cryogenic freezing.
I'm gonna cryogenically freeze you.
Yeah, it would just be me alive. I don't know anyone. I wouldn't know anyone when I wake up. I guess.
Yeah, dude, that
Please.
would suck. I hate you a lot.
Add more onto the like B question of whether you would freeze yourself based on this totally realistic cartoon show. The show is can be fun to watch, and I think it's fun to watch for me specifically because I was part of making it. I've seen this show since the beginning, so you know I like the fact that I know the creator and I know what his intention was for writing this. It's
the bugs.
there are some funny gags, and there's some funny moments in the show, but you know I can't really differentiate this show at this point from anything else. I kind of it resembles other shows plot.
What do you mean
The
by
idea of like I've seen a SpongeBob episode where they shrink down and go into a character, you know, or like a character being frozen, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
with Han Solo.
these are both very generic episode
Right,
ideas.
exactly. These are kind of sticky, but there are funny moments, and to that extent, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, they're very like kind of raw. But
Why is my throat like?
you can like
That was
go
horrendous.
anywhere with them. You know, you can go anywhere with them.
So
Excuse me.
I think there are actually 4 bugs in the room. There's the 2 on the couch over there, and the 2 across the table from me. They just can't keep their hands.
It
Off
might
of the
be
mic.
just one.
Dude, I'm
There's
gonna bury
3.
you in the desert.
They
man.
also
No,
can't.
I don't
keep
know
their
why I
hands
should
off of
ever.
the
I don't know when I was ever grouped
yeah.
in with this
No, you
buggy.
buggy nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
They just.
We got 3 bugs.
He didn't do anything. There are, you know what? There are 3 bugs, and this bug can't stop messing with the mic or the objects on the table. This mic picks up everything. Everything.
Buzz.
Buzz. There is buzzing in the background. That
Yeah.
little. Psst, psst. I know. We know you've been hearing that. I'm too lazy to edit it all out.
Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry.
And I say I'm because I know this audio is going to be sent to me to edit.
It's true.
Because
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about audio
all
making.
these
Get
people
raw.
can't use anything beyond a web browser.
Yeah,
Now-
it's true. It's true. Not very
Fruity
good.
Loops.
Well, okay. To be
Fruit
fair,
Loops?
the man sitting next to me, Carson, he can animate. He can animate using iMovie or whatever it is, and I
Okay.
can't do that. So props to him.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, the episode's good. It's good
Please,
character
thank
study
you.
on what it means to be American, and yeah, you know, very very good episode all around. 10 out of 10, better than Better Call Saul.
Well,
yeah.
I'll take the praise. I think this episode was needed considering what it was following, which, again, just to recap, the previous episode we had an A and B plot going on, and I think it was just too ambitious for when I was making it. I was 12, and I just, like everyone was just, or I think Alejandro was saying, like, you know, like, sometimes the story's a little hard to follow at points, and I think that, you know, the previous episode really suffered from that problem specifically, so just wrong place, wrong time for that type of concept.
I think the fact that you were 12 really illustrates a lot of what the episode looks like.
You were-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, you were 12 when
Yeah,
you made
No,
that?
Right.
okay, this one I was like 13 or 14, I think.
Even still, this is like young adolescents trying to emulate
I
the
wasn't
sort
even
of
in high
shows
school. I was still in middle school.
that you watched as a
Jeez.
kid.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what your outlook on life is, you know? Because there isn't going to be, like, you know, of course, you're not going to really see any, like, deeper meaning to these episodes and, like with the earlier stuff because, like, what deeper thought is, like, you know, like a middle schooler really going to have, you know? Like, oh, damn, I can't wait to get to recess, you know?
Oh, I was existential and depressed during middle school, but
I'm
that's just
14
me.
and this.
All right,
is-
my brain just wasn't there yet, I guess. But yeah, I think it was just needed considering the last episode. Also, the last episode almost killed the series, as I briefly mentioned in the previous podcast. I said, depending on how this episode went over, I was either gonna do one of 4 things. You know, if the episode did really good, the series continues indefinitely. If the episode did like average, then I would just do it to the end of season 2, and if season 2 picked up, then we'd continue the series. If it did just as bad as the previous episode, though, I would probably just say like I do one more episode after the 13th episode, and the series would end on the 14th episode, and that would be Woodfield. And the worst possibility, if we got, you know, only say under the views that we got on the previous episode, which for reference was like 28, we would have had to have we would have just canceled it from the 13th, no finale. So this really could have been the last one. God, can you stop?
Don't you
Like,
don't you hate when a show ends without a season finale?
Yeah, that's
You know?
that's.
Don't you hate when people keep making noise around the very sensitive mics?
Yeah, like you
after
got like.
being told multiple times not to. I'm glad that doesn't happen here.
I remember when Victorious
Can't wait
ended.
till the short
I thought
bus gets here.
Victorious was a great show. And then they ended it with this stupid one-off cupcake episode, and I was like,
What?
these characters, there's no
Never seen a
full
single
circle.
episode of that show. I have no idea.
A lot of
Oh, I
times-
know you lived under a rock. That's okay. You can just tell the whole audience it now, so now they understand.
Yeah,
as well.
I do genuinely live under a rock in real life. Literally, like my house is a
Why
rock.
you have
in
so
my
much
backyard.
time to do the audio and.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alejandro's got a great point. A lot of times what happens is these shows just get canceled without notice. So, like, what they think is just a season finale is now their series finale. It's like, crap, you know, we can't do anything about this now, you know? But, you know, thankfully this didn't turn out to be the case. When the episode came out, it did very well. It got around, like, 80 views, which was, I think, like, the third highest viewed episode of the series so far. So, you know, suffice to say, I was like, okay, the series is back on, you know? So I think this episode was needed when it came out, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is also the last episode where my dad is voicing Harrison.
Yeah, look at the notes.
Oh, that's right. We took notes on these episodes. We have like 800 pages of notes. Like, anyways, what does the note say?
The joke concepts were good. I think they weren't delivered that great, but I think, you know, give a redub or something like that, or sorry, the remaster. I think they'll come out a lot better.
I'd say the exact opposite.
Wow, really?
I think the concepts are fine, but I think the delivery is pretty good.
Really?
I think I laugh at some of them just because the delivery is good, but it's not like anything.
Do you have any ones in specific, I guess, that you liked?
Shoot,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
no, I can't. This first one is the ice block one.
Yeah.
This is the one with him with the car when the car drives away and he's like,
Yeah,
insurance
yeah,
fraud.
yeah.
That's funny. That's well delivered. I don't think that's an incredibly well thought out joke, but I
think
think
it'd be
the
a
way
little
he,
snappier.
I
But
think the way he says it is funny. So that would be my example.
I like the ice block joke where like the ice block falls and then just misses him and then he's
Yeah, I
like,
thought that
"Let's go,
I thought that
falls over,
delivery
kills
was
him."
good, but I don't think the concept is that funny.
Really? Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I guess that's my basic thoughts on episode 13. It kind of saved the series, thank God, I guess, or maybe not. But yeah, I guess this is the point where I should mention the episode that I was gonna follow this episode up with. So the next episode was going to be a merging of two concepts. I had a concept where like the characters went to a submarine to go retrieve the train that crashed in the third episode out from the bottom of the ocean because it's just been rusting there, and they're like, oh, we should salvage it or something like that. It's only been down there for a year or something. And the other concept we decided to merge this was time traveling for some reason. So yeah, they go down this submarine, and it turns out the submarine also time travels, right? And there's a very specific reason why we didn't make this episode, because where they get transported to is World War II. Yeah, and they oh God.
He's a little. It sounds like you were a little worried about the.
There's
Implications.
yeah. There were Nazis in this episode.
Yes.
Some
yeah.
things are more controversial than others.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's easier to put out something that's less controversial just for the optics' sake.
It's different, you know?
Yeah.
Wait,
like,
so how did they end up in World War II?
They took a submarine, and then it turns out the submarine also could time travel because I
yeah.
can't, because I'm 14.
Yes, there you go, yes.
And they teleport to German waters or something like that, right? It's like, oh my God, we're in 1943 or something like that, right? and they spawn between two I guess submarines. One that's like a German one, one's a British one. They're like, oh crap, we got to get out of here. So they go back to the future, right? And right at that moment, the German U-boat spots them, right, and fires a torpedo. But since they leave, the torpedo just keeps going and destroys the British U-boat, right? Which turns out to be carrying William's dad, and William just like goes like and like disappears, right? And like, oh no, now we got to go back to the past. I was like, well, maybe it's not that bad what William got, right? And then like one of them goes like, guys, you might want to look out the window. They look out, there's like a few Nazi flags around. It's like, I guess that British U-boat was in point.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Dude, no, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh, yes,
They're like, so now the country's run by Hitler, or no, run by Nazis or something like that. It's like, yeah, now we got a bunch of wannabe Hitlers, like Mick Hitler, and then it's cut away to like an obese Hitler with like a McDonald's. Do you see why we didn't make this? Yeah, and
It's good.
they had to go back to the past to have Johnny infiltrate the German U-boat and convince the Nazis to not fire a torpedo. So Johnny had to fake being a Nazi, basically.
I thought they were just going to destroy the U-boat.
There's a lot of Nazis.
Usually I never ask my parents for approval for making an episode, but even at 14, which I definitely should have kind of known better at 14. I did know a little better. I was like, maybe I shouldn't make this, And it was a different time on the internet. It was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Not excusing it, but I went to my parents and asked them if I could make it, and they, thought for a second. They said no, and I was surprised because it's the first time I'd gotten like pushback from my parents. What I didn't know, and this is the real kicker of the story, what I didn't know what was going on at the time was there's a little thing that happened in 2017, maybe not so little. Any guesses?
What?
Any guesses what happened in 2017?
I know what happened in 2017.
Go ahead, say it.
The Unite the Right rally.
Yeah, Charlottesville.
I remember that.
It happened right during Charlottesville. So, I was like...
Which you may have actually gotten more traction because it was related to it. So... Live and learn, right?
What was that? Unite the Right.
Who knows, mate?
That was the far right rally where the guy drove the Mustang and hit the girl. And the girl died. The guy ran into the crowd.
We talked about this a lot in like freshman year because it's like a pretty hot button.
It's the one where Trump was like, there were great people on both sides.
Yeah, great people on both sides.
I don't remember. Listen, me and my rock, I don't remember that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen. What?
I would remember if we showed you whatever.
In another world where I was a little bit older and could have probably wrote some like good like commentary on this, I could have probably still produced this episode. Yeah. And it would have been very fitting for the time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet it would have been bad.
Hey,
still probably a little controversial. Shut up.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but I guess for obvious reasons, we didn't produce this, which is really funny.
Well, come to think of it, were you the sole like writer, producer, animator, voice actor for the series at this point? Or
at this point I was doing 100% everything. It was like that. The last episode I did 100% by myself was probably the 17th episode, I think, which was Lights, Camera, Morons. And then I think it was around the Christmas episode I started consulting Alejandro for I guess writing decisions. Like originally, like for the 18th episode, we were gonna do. I was like, do we want to do like something with Santa Claus or like something like magical, or should we do something more grounded? Alejandro said we should do something more grounded. I think we made the right decision with that one. And yeah, that's how I guess the 18th episode turned out. But yeah, this is purely me. I didn't tell. I don't think you were made aware of what we were doing with this episode, Sammy, either.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I was not aware of stuff going on. You know me, Rock.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, the episode never got produced. We did about, I want to say I did around like 25%. It was like 25% animated, maybe a little less, honestly. I want to say I did maybe around like 15 to 20% of animation completed on it. It wasn't that much. But yeah, I mean, there'll be more stories like these about unfinished productions or episodes that never got completed. Or I guess it's kind of the same thing. But we'll save all these little anecdotes and other stories for a separate podcast about lost productions. where we'll be revealing Jesus, where we'll be revealing more fun stories about these types of stuff. I think this is probably the highlight of I guess the unfinished productions. But yeah. Anyways, I guess I don't know. I don't think I really have too much else to say about this episode specifically, unless any of y'all have any other final comments.
I have no final comments.
I have no final comments.
Hey, Laser Lips, where's your ticket?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would. Refusal to show identification will result in removal from the ship.
I think it's best you move along.
Watch your tone, or you'll be cast overboard!
Arr!
Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me.
And remember, folks, this videos are a one of a kind. It's now or never. Get yourself a home run deal today. Hey, rent's due. Boring.
Hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. See how the main sail, see how the green sail. Call for the captain ashore and let me go.
Welcome back to the Woodfield podcast. We hope you enjoyed the ads and clicked on all of them and gave us all the ad revenue and donated to our Patreon.
And donated to our Patreon.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah, sure.
Remember to donate to our Patreon, and right now we are going to be talking about episode 14, Sell No. So, fun fact about this episode, a little lore. This was technically the first professionally commissioned episode, and what I mean by that is Carson did this for a school project and was not paid for it. As is the life of an artist.
I like that.
I should probably cut in now then.
Yeah, anyways,
right.
Let's talk about the episode.
He's not wrong. This was actually a school project, but I guess we can start off with a synopsis before I talk about that. So the episode begins with William being woken up by an annoying commercial and Jack grabbing William because something's wrong with Harrison. Turns out he's sick. So they grab Harrison's shrink ray, which we didn't establish in the episode that it was his shrink ray or that Harrison is a scientist / inventor. They all shrink down, go inside of Harrison's body and retrieve the lysosomes and the ribosomes or whatever. But yeah, they end up saving Harrison. Now Harrison's got a new voice, which isn't Sammy's voice because we weren't sure who we were gonna have voice Harrison. We thought it was gonna be my one friend, but we decided back on it.
The limitations of the school project. I believe you had to work with someone to do this, or was that?
Yeah. So I guess I should also talk about how the project got birthed. We had a project. It was in 9th grade biology, and I was working with two other friends, one who I won't name, and one who is actually my friend Emily, who has been on the podcast and is on the show as well. And I remember just asking, them like, hey, do you guys do any writing or draw or anything, right? And it was just no's, which is a blatant lie from Emily. She is an excellent writer and an excellent artist. Which is hilarious. I found this out later, but I didn't know that at the moment. So I was like, great. I'm going to be working with people that I'm probably just going to end up doing the work, right? And so I decided, it would be better maybe if I just separated from the group and did my own thing. And so I went up to my biology teacher with an ultimatum. I said, hey, or maybe not an ultimatum, but some sort of suggestion from me. I said, hey, could I leave the group? Could I secede from the group, from the union? you know, if you let me work alone, I'll make an animated project, right? And the project was due in 1 week, and I said I was gonna do it. And yep, it was 1 week of hellish production. I did the entire episode in 7 days, and it really shows in some spots.
Which is, I gotta say, you cannot understate how impressive that is, especially for someone who is, just a new high schooler, you know. Which year of high school was this for
He
again?
said 9.
Ninth grade, yeah.
Right, so yeah, you're basically still a middle schooler, and you're doing this in 7 days. That's pretty impressive.
Impressive for a baby.
Yeah, for a little
Yeah,
baby
goo goo
boy.
gaga.
But yeah, he did it, and the episode came out, and it was pretty good, and it was very educational.
Yeah, it's like the Magic School Bus, but
is.
like.
I mean, you can tell when they're trying to put in a requirement for the rubric.
Yeah, because it's just a random.
The liposomes crush into the xylosomes and make the cell wall break into the. Yeah.
You gotta get
But
the cells protein and stuff.
there's some funny
I
moments.
forgot, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, the line delivery could be.
Obviously, the powerhouse of the
Improved.
nuclear cell.
Yeah, the nuclear power of the cell. I will say something significant about this episode, other than its origins, are the episode itself. In that the art style changed. It was
Yeah.
very.
This
very
is the big art style change. As we go, I guess, from the old art style that we used to do for early Woodfield into the modern style. Of course, when you look at it now, it looks a lot different than, I guess, some that I currently put out or anything from the last couple episodes. But, the basic designs are there, and you can tell that these characters will eventually look like how they do in the future somewhere down the line. But, yeah, I have a question for us all. Was the art style changed for the better or for the worse?
I personally think it was for the better. I mean,
Obviously, for the better, right?
I will say that Woodfield,
It's a double-edged sword, in my opinion, but...
Woodfield at the stage it was back then, it was certainly at the point where how do I put this? There was a lot to be improved in the art style, and you made some improvements there. I guess well, the point I'm trying to get at is a lot of people will talk about shows and how art styles change, and the new art style look bad, old art style good. The point I'm trying to make is Woodfield at that point was at at a stage where new art style is just objectively better all around. So all that is to say, it was a improvement. I enjoyed it. You get a upvote updude from me. Now, I will say this. What exactly do you believe drove the art style change? Did you just think, I want to change it, or do you think you just improved at animation?
Honestly, my art style kind of comes from like a lot of different places, but mostly it just comes from what I watched as a kid. A lot of SpongeBob, a lot of Fairly Odd Parents, and yes, definitely Simpsons as well. Those are kind of where most of my design philosophy, I guess, comes from, I guess. But I don't know, the problem with my art style, especially towards like the 13th episode, was I just didn't draw like how the characters look like naturally. And so it was like I always had to just try to draw these characters. My natural art style at the time looked like how the characters look currently, like kind of like this Simpson-y kind of look. But yeah, like I said, how it's kind of a double-edged sword is like now I get a bunch of Simpsons comments. I wish I did this art style change maybe a little later when I knew a little bit more about design, because another big problem is that there's some same face syndrome. I think Harrison, Jack, and William all have like the same damn face, which I don't think is much of a problem with like the secondary cast, as a lot of them got redesigned after this change and when I started improving on design. But this is a problem with just mainly the main three.
Would you say that the characters had a model yet?
Yes, there was kind of a model, but we didn't make a model sheet. It was just kind of like a mental model sheet. Like I knew what the characters looked like, but I didn't really draw a model sheet for the characters until 2019, and that's when we actually were like, okay, this is what the characters should look like,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, double-edged sword. It was almost immediately after this I started getting people commenting saying, "Oh, that nice fry from Futurama." Whenever they see Jack, I hadn't even seen Futurama either, so I go like, "What?" I knew who the character was, but yeah, this production was definitely something though, because there's a lot of again, like I mentioned earlier, like 7 days is not a lot of time. I was redesigning characters. I spent probably the first 4 days coming up with ideas and jokes where I wanted to go, how I could like not have this look like a complete science project and something I could show the class, you know. And man, it really like everything really came together at the last literal second, because I was really only animating those last 3 days, and that last night was the worst though. I stayed up until 5:45 in the morning. I heard my dad getting up. I got up at 6:15. I had 30 minutes of sleep. The craziest part, it didn't even hit me at like school or anything that day. It was the following day where it really hit me like a truck. We had like a school chapel because I went to a private school, right? And my principal was doing the sermon this morning, right? And I just had me sitting up in like second row, dude. I was trying so damn hard not to fall asleep. I was nodding off. It was real bad. But yeah, it definitely shows during the recording. You can hear my speech slurring towards.
Thanks for that.
In the product that you felt rushed on, you made character designs that felt more authentic. So, what does that have to say about when the stakes are high and you have to get something out,
Yeah.
I guess sometimes, time limits will force you to think on your feet, and you will do things you didn't realize you could do before. You will get stuff done faster than you didn't realize you could before. In a way, that stress is kind of good for you, but obviously, blah, 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 got to find a balance and all that,
But it's worth
wishy-washy
considering, at
conversation
least taking
stuff.
that.
It is, yeah. it
Sun
is.
Tzu.
We should
Sun
also
Tzu, Art
talk
of War,
about
yeah.
we should also talk about the voices for this episode.
That's
Johnny's
what
not
it
in
was.
this one to really mention him about, I guess, but
Johnny,
William
yes,
prior to
Papa.
this episode would talk kind of like this, maybe a little scruffy sometimes. But starting with this episode, we started having William talk more kind of like this. We were actually going to replace William's voice for this episode along with Harrison's, because Jack and great, thanks Daniel.
The clown has
Jack
found a way.
and William sound too much alike, because one of them was just me doing a British accent, just my normal speaking voice, and the other one was just my regular speaking voice, right? And so I was gonna replace him with this kid in my class who is from South Africa. I don't know if I've told you this, Sammy.
I
Don't say
think
the
you
name.
did.
But yeah. we're gonna replace this guy who's from South Africa, whatever, die British people.
His name was Timothy Green.
Yeah, Timothy Green. And yeah, I got real close to doing it, but his silly little funny accent rubbed off on me, I guess. And I started doing his voice on accident. That it started to sound like a diet British person. And I got so. It was like, this doesn't even sound like me. What is going on? I was like, I gotta stop talking like this, right? And then I realized, like, there's my solution. There's my William's voice. I don't have to go replace him. Thank God I didn't replace William, dude. If I replaced him with that guy, that would suck. And oh God, there goes one of the headphones. Yeah, thank God we didn't replace with that guy. I feel like there might be one or two people who might be watching this who are from my high school who will definitely know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that obviously didn't happen. But we did replace my dad, who voiced Harrison originally, with another friend of ours who I also won't name.
Me.
No, it was later, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't replace it with Sammy off the bat immediately, because Sammy, you were in like almost everything on my channel at like around this time, so I was like, this is just gonna be. This is just gonna sound like,
There's gonna be some stupid original main character. We've heard this guy before. Get him out of here.
Yeah, it's just gonna feel like repetitive, I guess. So I was like, I guess I won't have Sammy in, and then I regretted it because
That's how you save money.
the other friend just wound up. He had the same problem my dad did. He just wasn't too good of a voice actor. No hate or anything, but history has it we replaced our friend with Sammy in the 15th episode, and Sammy is one of the best voice actors we have on the series, and I wish there was no hiccup mid-episode here. We just immediately replaced Sammy. But yeah, I mean, like, I think knowing that we had to replace my dad also kind of helped with creating the plot, because like, like we'll have so it's not just like all of a sudden like Harrison just sounds completely different. The next episode we'll have Harrison be sick and be mute for the entire episode, and then when he comes back, it's a vocal problem. Like, he just sounds different, like. That's how we'll, I guess, solve it. But yeah, I guess thoughts or comments. I haven't really asked for y'all's thoughts on this episode because I've been rambling like an old man.
Did you ask Sammy's thoughts?
Yeah, Sammy, go ahead.
I have a criticism and explanation for why that criticism is invalid. So,
Go ahead.
I mean, you probably agree with me. We introduce a lot of things just kind of out of the blue, like, oh, they just have a shrink ray, and oh, Harrison's a scientist, but we don't actually introduce that.
Yeah, no, you're
And
right.
on one hand, it's like, where did all these plot points come from? But on the other hand, this is technically a middle episode of a TV show. So you are expected to have seen the previous ones to understand the context of this one.
Both are great points.
But also, this was supposed to be a one-off project, so I don't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. We didn't establish in the episode. And I should also mention that we never established prior to the 13th and 14th episode where like Harrison starts to become more the smarter individual of the group, I guess. That Harrison did anything science related. It was the 13th. It's the when we redid the intro for the 13th episode, we had everyone's like occupations, and we included Harrison in that intro, and he does like the science stuff, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's your little like I guess that way you kind of know what Harrison does for every episode. Onwards.
Yeah.
But inside the actual show, we've never really established it outside of just like there's Harrison's lab.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
No, we should like reestablish it and stuff because that's definitely like a little bit
Can't
of
go
an
back
issue.
in time, right?
No, you can't.
And
Can't with the
take you
redub
back
though.
to the past.
A little remaster.
If only we did that episode. Then we would have had the means to travel back in time and fix that so that the plot points would...
If we had time travel, that
Yeah,
would...
and hopefully Nazis don't take over the country too.
I'd make a lot of changes.
Right.
I would have done a lot of... I would have done a lot of... I would have
I
picked a
would've-
lot
I
of different
would've-
friends.
I would have.
Come on.
Would I have picked different friends?
Never been on this pod.
Yeah. I did have one thought, which is if you do really think about it, a lot of biological processes are like, because in the episode they go into the cells and stuff and they shoot stuff with guns to kill it. But if you really think about it, that kind of is how you kill a cell. You literally just rip it apart physically, and that's what white blood
I didn't
cells
know
do,
that.
I think. I mean, I think it's all not physics.
I might have
but
known that for the episode. I don't remember now.
It's all physical interactions, and it's really weird to think about because when something dies, it is destroyed, and we typically separate the concept of dying versus destroying. Like destroyed is something that's not living. Dying is something that is living, but yeah, when a cell dies, it's literally just destroyed. That is what actually kills it.
So it's the same thing.
You know, the DNA.
But then some things can be ripped
exactly,
apart.
like at the small level, they're the same thing. It's like how
Yeah, like your pants.
This is a possible fact. I say possible fact because I don't know if it's true. But I have heard that apparently some laws of physics simply do not hold across long distances. Like the conservation of energy does not actually hold across like light years of distance. There's probably a better YouTube video out there about it. I heard about it tangentially, and now I'm going to repeat that fact like I've been studying it for years. But yeah, the world is weird, and some things are the same at small levels, some things don't exist at big levels, blah, 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 quantum physics. Bozo 1 and Bozo 2, what do you guys have to say?
Why did you bring that up?
Woodfield related.
This went over everyone's head. No one
it was
studied the
Woodfield
textbook
related.
before they started this podcast.
It's
Listen,
true.
I haven't been studying at all. I haven't read a book in years.
Well, he was saying that there's
impressive.
like a line of drool like dripping out of my mouth.
There
and
is.
like some some fax machine noises.
Listen, I am
come
not
from my
smart
brain.
at all. Okay, I just pretend to be smart.
It's true.
So what do you guys have to say about the Woodfield episode?
Yeah, Quizdro.
Quizdro.
Always Quizdro.
Would you prefer cheese dro?
No.
He likes
I
Alejandro
mean,
cheese.
it's entertaining. I mean, there's something to say about the fact that I know that Carson has made fans of this series over time,
Can
just
you
by
imagine?
people watching it and people like it, and I have a different connection to it because I was there from the very beginning and I've watched the process. It's a little different for me. And which,
Familiarity breeds contempt.
yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, great. I knew it. But
I'm just saying what you said.
it was good.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned about the fans. The 13th episode was the first episode I actually had like fan interactions with. And I think part of the reason why the series didn't fail with the 13th episode, I meant to mention this before, but a little video released a month before this episode, sorry, not this episode, the 13th episode, Colder Than Antarctica, which was the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared parody series that we did on the channel, Shattered Reality, which I think Sammy lifted his head, disturbed him a little bit.
Someone someone touched my knee. That's why I lifted my head.
It's probably Daniel.
Oh, it's Bozo too.
I think he's just the only bozo. Anyways,
I enjoyed making that one as well. I remember watching.
Yeah, that was really fun. That one made a lot of views on my channel. You know, it has
Which just goes to show that
like
it's all about the relevance of whatever topic you put out there.
Yeah, it was like I think it got like 15. I think it has like 15K or something now. I don't know. It's got a lot of views, but like there's like over like when the 13th episode released, it had like 2K I think by that point, or maybe like 3K or something like that. And so I was having a lot of comments like on my channel, and I think because of that episode, there were more people paying attention to what other stuff I was dropping at the time. So the 13th episode, I think because of that did a lot better in retrospect. Same with Selno, which we're talking about now.
All right.
But yeah, it's just really funny to think like like maybe if I released the 13th episode before that podcast released, or sorry, not podcast. I don't know why I said podcast. Before the Shattered Reality episode released, maybe it might not have done well, and maybe this might be a different future for Woodfield. So it's, I guess, some food for thought. I guess also one little thing I wanted to mention about was I noticed we made a joke about The Voice in the episode. Like, are you starring on The Voice? Dude, I forgot The Voice existed.
That joke was bad.
Dude, it's dated. It's so dated. Oh my god, that's probably one of the most dated Woodfield jokes you've ever made.
Well, it's because you're just reading off of a poster. It's like, oh, I read it wrong. You're like, yeah, you read it wrong, you idiot. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
There's a lot of illiterate people out there.
Oh, I apologize to all the people that cannot read and cannot write. It's
Yeah.
not your fault.
It is your fault.
Oh yeah. Well, they're probably not watching this. They probably couldn't figure out the title.
That's not bad. That's pretty good, actually.
All right, Daniel. I guess any thoughts?
It's a good show with a good animator, creator, and it can go anywhere. I mean, it's a show, So
Very insightful.
whatever you think of it, you just gotta put it into words. And
Yeah.
then we can create it. It's endless.
Well,
Creativity.
I guess before we close out the podcast, do we have any closing remarks from the peanut gallery here?
It smells like garbage.
I got a couple unsolicited health tips for y'all. Number one, get a wide-angle mirror for your car. You can see more. Number two...
He's right. I'm going to order one of those. It's like $10 on Amazon.
Number two, use an electric toothbrush. It brushes your teeth better. Number three, get a tongue scraper. It'll make your breath better because most of the bad breath germs are on your tongue.
Yeah, I know a few coworkers who could use that.
Number four, use a flashlight to check your throat for tonsil stones. They may be the reason you have bad breath consistently and have a scratchy feeling in your throat. I think this is number 5. If you get canker sores frequently, try switching to Sensodyne or some other toothpaste without SLS. That's sodium something sulfate, because that might fix it. Also, don't stare at the sun. Yeah.
Okay.
That's very good.
That was pretty good. I'd say, anything that you take the time to watch is an investment, and if you took the time to watch Carsaurus up to this point, you've made an investment, and we're trying to pay it off. So, all the work we're putting into these next episodes and these next projects coming up, we've evolved past the point where we were writing jokes like are evident in this episode. Not to say that there isn't something that's endearing about it, but there's more to come, and we're trying to say something about how, I don't know, something that everyone can relate to, and something that's entertaining. So keep watching, and thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. What he said.
Yeah, thanks guys for watching.
I mean, we could also
Donate
ask
to our
the other
Patreon.
Bug's opinion.
Yeah,
Hey,
couch rot.
Hey.
What?
Can you come here for a second?
Yeah, get over your core eyes.
Oh my gosh. Oh. You guys don't have to listen to this. Please click off the video now. You are not gonna. Nothing you're about to hear is gonna be worth your time.
What do you think of Woodfield?
Woodfield? Well, I don't know much about it besides a couple episodes I've watched.
I told you.
It's
I
good.
told you, and you didn't believe me. Why are you still here? Go click. Come on. Go click on the Mr. Beast video next to this one. Come on. Click on Mr. Beast soy facing about doing like $1 million.
Rented out Disneyland for like
Direct-
$1 million.
For 500,000 actually.
Actually.
I rented out Gilwan's house for $10 million.
Oh yeah, this is Guan, by the way. That's the new guy. That's the guy we were beckoning over with.
Hello there.
Yeah, welcome, Splooge One.
He has so many nicknames for me.
Yeah.
It's true. He's my little pet.
Cheese one.
Yeah, cheese one. Anyways, it's very great. Yeah, I think this episode was definitely an improvement over the last. These episodes definitely aren't great in the grand scheme of the series, but definitely a big step up from what preceded or not preceded them, came before. Anyways, I think that'll do it. Yeah. Well, good night and good luck, everyone. Have a great rest of your whatever evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever. Yeah. Good night
I
or
love
something.
you all.
Woohoo!
Yay.